Hello, super freaky girls, and welcome to episode 6 of Super Freak with Mary Ryan Brown. I'm so excited for y'all to hear from my guest, Star Jackson. Star Jackson is an up-and-coming country music artist, and I cannot wait for y'all to hear our conversation about music, motherhood, and the creative process. Before we jump into this interview, I wanted to remind you of a few show dates. I am coming to New York July 19th and 20th. July 19th, I will be at Don't Tell Mama in Manhattan performing my new hour, Gifted and Damaged. That'll be at 7 p.m. on Friday night at Don't Tell Mama. And then on Saturday, July 20th, I will be at Caveat on the Lower East Side at 4 p.m., a little early afternoon show. And I'll be performing Gifted and Damaged again. And then 11 p.m. in Queens at QED Astoria, I will be performing on their lineup of Last Stop Laughs at 11 p.m. Links to all of these events are in my show notes. If you're in New York, I'd love to see you there. If you are not in New York and you would still love to support live comedy, particularly my live comedy, you can buy live stream tickets to Gifted and Damaged at Caveat. I will put the link in the show notes. All right, y'all, let's get into this podcast. I'm so excited for y'all to hear it. What is up, y'all? My name is Mary Ryan Brown. I am a writer, a comedian, a wife, and a mother, and this is my podcast, Super Freak. I named this podcast after the Rick James song Super Freak and after my very favorite movie, Little Miss Sunshine. Go watch the last scene in Little Miss Sunshine. It's all about performing from the heart and letting your freak flag fly, which is exactly what I'm always trying to do in my writing and my comedy. On this podcast, we'll have guest segments from comics, writers, and artists that I admire, as well as just interviews with people from my life that have made me who I am. I'm looking forward to seeing this podcast evolve. I'm looking forward to connecting with and growing an audience and hopefully a community here. And I can't wait for you to get freaky with me. Will I ever get the chance to spread my wings and fly? Y'all, let me introduce you to my guest. This is Star Jackson. She's a country music singer. She's also a fellow mom and just entertainer and lady with a dream.
And Mississippi.
And Mississippian. And here we are. So, Star Jackson, tell me your name. Tell me what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Star Jackson, and basically I write songs, raise babies, and, wing it pretty much every day of my life.
I think you and I have that in common. We have a deep tolerance for chaos. And, I mean, you have a way of controlling it. I think, like, your home's very organized. Yes, it is. Y'all, I'm in her house right now. You could lick off the floors. It is...
She's lying.
It's stunning. It's stunning. But I think we both are just kind of crazy people.
Absolutely.
So tell me, why country music? Why now?
Well, why not now, I guess? And then also, country music is all I really know. I mean, country is kind of like just all that I know, and that's where I'm from. But I think it took, really just doing soul searching and having babies and really just having babies and keeping them alive to believe in myself and my talents and what I was born to do. It's all better now. So I really wouldn't put a label like on my heart as far as I use it. Because I feel like mine's very Leonard Skinner rock too. So, but that's actually still country, just like Tom Petty. And I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like country music, but it's like 70s and 80s rock kind of baby with 90s traditional country.
Is that what you listened to growing up?
Yes.
Is that your mom?
Yes.
So
you told jammed out and then go back on the way to school to for her to teach algebra. So, like, it's just kind of engraved in my brain.
I think every little girl our age, millennial, has a memory of listening to Nickelback in the car with a parent. For me, it was Lips of an Angel by Hinder,
Yeah.
which is such a sick song when you really listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful song. And I think they just did a revival of it. He just recorded it with some young girl. I don't know. He just like re-recorded.
That's awesome. Another one too is my mom, after she went through a divorce, she used to wear that song. Why do the rock song? Why do I still love you? I don't think anything about like you had a little bit of off current and it's been a teacher hop and Stephanie for up if that's
Yes, I love the rage that you got to experience in the car. I got a little bit of that. I also got like Jody Messina, My Give a Damn's Busted.
No mother.
Oh, that got me through many a breakup later in life.
So over, her calling out codependency and just
She did.
all that. Yeah.
She did.
She's best.
And then she was like, maybe somebody else will listen. Give a damn. And I was like, okay, I'm 9 years old, but I feel this in my blood.
Yeah. Revisiting.
Yes. It really does. I'm distantly kin to Bobby Gentry. Not to name drop. I've been in Nashville 4 hours. I think I got a name drop.
Yeah. And that's really impressive. Like, no wonder that you have your veins running through your blood. Because that song is the baddest song ever to me. Like, it's the greatest.
It's the great American novel, like the story of Fancy. And then, of course, like Billie Joe McAllister. That also, she just had such a way of like painting a narrative. But anyway, tell me what inspired you, because from what I understand and the discussions we've had leading up to this moment, we both had that moment where we kind of broke down and then became reborn and started making art. So just take me through all of that.
Yes. So, anyone that's a mama, I feel like, unless they're lying to themselves or just, not wanting to be vulnerable, we all know being a mama, you don't know what that feels like until you actually go through birthing a child and becoming a mama and the responsibility that comes with that and the pressures of society and the world of what it looks like, how you're supposed to be a good mama. And I think it took just for me, giving birth to 3 little boys back to back. My husband's an entrepreneur, so he's gone a good bit. He's super supportive. We couldn't make it without him, but there were a lot of lonely times and a lot, postpartum depression and anxiety. They're so real. And I think that it just really took me, hitting rock bottom with my identity outside of my kids and being a wife to be, to discover like birthing these babies, keeping them alive. Like I was reborn, in a sense as well. So yeah, I think just knowing like I'm keeping 3 children alive.
3 boys.
I've seen a lot of ego and I had to let go of the ego. But it has given me pride and a lot more confidence, I feel like. And it's just helped me to how to see life through the lens of a child. So, yeah.
I sometimes encounter people who will be like, how are you brave enough to do stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
And I always say, like, 1, I'm not brave, I'm delusional. But 2, I had a baby and nothing scares me anymore.
Basically, yeah.
That's the closest I've ever been to God. And like Meadow brings me back to that place every day. Like nothing else matters.
No.
And it does liberate you in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you're dropping a single that I think is going to make some waves. You let me listen to it. You sent me the song and I said, no, I promise I will not show it to anybody, but Meadow is in the car with me right now, my daughter.
Yes.
may I listen to it with her in the car? And you said yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And from the back seat, when the song was over, well, Meadow's a blabbermouth. I mean, she'll tell people. She is. She's that hot goss.
That's okay. She can do anything and get away with it. You just.
That is true, ma'am. That is true. But
Yeah.
the song is called High Horse. We listened to it, and immediately when the song finished, Meadow neighed.
Yeah.
A very majestic neigh. And you said that was the desired effect.
Absolutely. Like, my job feels like it's completed as of Meadow neighing. Like, I have done my earthly duty because Meadow neighed.
Meadow neighed, Dolly named you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting big cosigns here.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about the song. The song is called High Horse, and it comes from, I think, a really authentic place.
Yes.
And it's born from a breaking point.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
And it's being very vulnerable. So, like, I think I let a lot of emotions come out through writing after I had all my babies. And specifically, like, this one's geared towards people that are power hungry and feeding off of innocent people. But it's to a Pentecostal preacher.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get it out there.
Let's get it out there. This Pentecostal preacher really, really did something to me, and I had to let that out. And now I look back at it laughing because, we're all hypocrites.
We are.
But I am not a self-righteous hypocrite. So that's the difference. And if you're going to be a hypocrite, can I just say, don't be a self-righteous one. So
be a self-aware hypocrite.
absolutely. Like literally, like that's it. That's perfect. Yes.
Like, yeah.
Mhm.
I'm kind of crunchy in some ways, but I get Botox. And I'm real about that.
Absolutely. Like,
So tell me, why did this Pentecostal preacher make you so mad, Star?
yeah. And so, well, to sum it up, it just felt like I was in the room with a cult of people, and I'm all about community, but really, I mean, everybody has a dress code, and what's even more interested is all the people really just getting off to this man, like,
Yes.
and I'm just sitting there, I'm pinching Brandon's leg, like telling him like I'm like 6 weeks postpartum with Cannon, and like the hormones are raging, and I'm pinching his leg because I am so ready to go. And he says, yeah, it's the woman's job to be inside changing those diapers and washing all those dirty dishes and having us dinner ready for when we get ready to get back inside. And that did it for me. That did it. And I said, never again. And really, it's not even like, I love doing little things like that.
For sure. But don't tell me that's my place.
Or what a better question is like, what about doing it together?
Yeah.
Like uniting and doing those types of things together and making them special.
Spoken like a true woman who wears pants.
Absolutely. And I'm just here to say what I've got to say. And y'all can pull them skirts down a lot quicker than I can get these wind pants down. Like, that's all I got.
That tracksuit is complicated. To me, that tracksuit is a purity ring. To me.
It basically is. Like, it basically is. But, yeah, because also this preacher was talking about cheerleaders and how, they're showing too much skin. Well, the freak that's getting off.
For real. Look away. Look away.
Baby, I'm not going to the beach in no moo-moo, okay? It's too hot when you're chasing 3 kids. And it ain't because I want to show all this off.
The beach is for nudity. It's honestly offensive to the ocean if you're not showing a little booty cheek. That's what I think.
It would be miserable to be wearing clothes all the way down to my ankles, and in the salt ocean water, and then chasing kids with sand up their, behinds and their balls. Like, no, never. And, you know,
No.
and I'm still going to heaven.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that preacher, like, man, I just got to thank him because there was some good to be birthed out of that moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that anger and that rage and that recognition that, like,
Right.
Female Rage the musical.
Yeah.
That idea that, like, something's not right and it is my duty and I'm going to
Yeah.
burn inside until I get this out.
And that's so true because it was truly in the most odd way. If you know me, then you know I'm speaking this from the heart. But it was a conviction to write this. And then there's no way, like the way that things just played out, you know, coming from Hattiesburg, Mississippi to Nashville, then getting to work with Dolly's producer and just the way things played out are just insane. And it turned out to be the most empowering song, or at least, like, that's what I hope.
So, as a young millennial mom who grew up on the Disney Channel, right? How does it feel to be a modern day Hannah Montana, but in reverse? Because your real name's Hannah, but Dolly Parton named you Star.
Yeah.
So, take me through the just sort of whirlwind of that process.
Yeah, it totally feels like, you know, I'm getting the best of both. I could say.
You get the limo out front. No, but you are, and you look like you're
out front. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. And, you know, I'm very self-aware. Like, I have to constantly remind myself, like, yeah, you're not skids. Like, Dolly actually named you. Like, this actually happened. And there's fruit, Dolly, you know. Gonna sometimes
You have to leave a note on your mirror.
real.
You're not schizophrenic. This is your life.
Because it doesn't feel real. I remember, like, I don't even remember driving home that day that she wrote my name down, and she was like, this should be your name. She was like, what do you think? And I was like,
It doesn't matter what I think.
Yeah.
You're Dolly Parton.
A great big duty to hold, and I'm like just in amazement. So I had to make Dolly Mama proud.
Dolly Mama. What's she like? What does she smell like?
She smells like fresh flowers and sweetness, and she's just honestly, she humanized my spirit. It's like talking to her and meeting her so much. She's so humble, just like everybody, you know, says. Like, she really is. And there's a reason she's Dolly Parton. Like, she's just one of the most kindest, humble souls on earth. Is that even grammatically correct, the way I said that?
So most kindest is kind of like a double superlative, and it did create pause for me, but I appreciate, see, it's the self-awareness. It's the self-awareness that keeps you from being like a cult leader, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the most kind.
I'm sorry not to cut that.
I will not cut it out.
Please.
I'm gonna clip it. I love that you asked that, because I was gonna let it slide.
Really, I can't even describe. She's like the most beautiful, genuine soul I've ever met, and it still feels like a dream. Yeah, most kindest.
She is the most kind. Maybe you can alter the rules of grammar for Dolly Parton.
I mean, yeah.
I think you can.
You feel what I'm stepping in.
Yes. So tell me about your songwriting process, not just for High Horse, but for your whole album, which has 13 songs on it. Take me through, like, when you're sitting down to write a song, what makes a good song and what makes your songs unique?
I feel like good songs kind of come to me with the wind, in a sense. Like, they come when they come, and they're gone when they're gone. And if you go out looking for, you know, more inspiration or creativity, it doesn't matter. For me, they come to me at the most random moments in my life. And so, honestly, I feel like what makes a good song is true conviction and vulnerability and heart and soul, really. And that's something AI can't touch.
No, AI is very weird. I'm AI, and I feel weird.
Yeah.
all the time.
So you're a bot?
I am a bot.
Really?
I'm too perfect, Star.
Yeah.
I'm just
Smart.
too perfect. No, I agree. I agree with that. Tell girl. Girl. No, well, here's the deal. When I taught 10th grade English, my students would say I was AI. They would say, they would say I was AI and that I was an NPC. I don't know if you know what an NPC is, but apparently it's something in a video game. They would say all the time, Miss Brown's not real, Miss Brown's not real. But that's because I would get so overwhelmed that I would just kind of stare into space while they were like trying to fight each other. And I would like kind of beep and like short out a little bit.
I think you're very zen and you handle it very well.
I
I
try.
can see that.
Yes, I do kind of tend to like, yes.
I was off. Yeah, I love my thing.
I love it. I love it. But no, I do kind of like, sometimes I don't feel like a person, but that is for maybe not even a podcast. Maybe that's for therapy. I don't know. Do you ever feel that way? I'm not a person.
I feel more like I'm a spirit. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, no, I think more than anything, I feel more like I'm an outcast. Like, I'm an outsider. Like, it's really hard for me to fit in, boxes.
Did you experience that growing up? Like,
Yeah.
difficulty fitting in?
And I have friends, like, I guess I had friends, like, from all over the place. And so I would be the one that's kind of like going from this rinker to this one to this one. But like they all would be, super close. And I would just might be, with all of them. Yeah.
I feel that. I think
Yeah.
maybe we have this in common. I can kind of roll with anybody.
Mhm.
Like I have this sort of chameleon spirit.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, my energy is drained and I feel so alone. And I'm like, I'm just an actor.
Yeah.
Somebody give me an Oscar, And then I just kind of stare into space.
Yeah, but I'm with you. Yeah, sometimes I feel like, was today even real? Because it felt like a movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So who are some of your musical inspirations or even just artistic inspirations?
Well, I love the Eagles and Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty and AC/DC and Brat and Motley Crue and Nickelback and also Star. Faye Peel was from Star, Mississippi. So I went to the same elementary school as her, and she's always been such a huge influence for me. Her and Sam are like what I like to call the power couple. I love that, they really value each other and their family.
Yeah.
Then there's Martina McBride, Gretchen Wilson, Dolly Parton. Obviously, she's the queen. I love her for so many reasons. Reba, there nobody else like Reba. Reba's just Reba, and she brings out the outlaw in me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's so hard because like musically, like I love so many people for so many different reasons. But yeah, those are just to name a few. But I really vibe with the Eagles, Stevie Nicks, Tom Petty. Yeah, those are my vibes.
I think you would have done well in the 80s. I think you would have.
I feel like my soul is from the 80s, but I wasn't born until 95, so.
I know, we're so young. We're babies. We're what? You're the 14th of April?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I am the 19th of April.
Okay.
So we are very
So wait,
close.
does that make you Aries or Taurus?
So I'm right there on the cusp, actually. I think I'm like the last day of Aries.
Perfect.
And people will be like, oh, you don't seem like an Aries. Like, you're so calm. But I do have this sort of like dormant rage.
You're right there on this plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A Taurus is a bull, right?
I really don't know.
I don't know.
I vibe with Leos and Libras, and I like Taurus people too. My husband's a Capricorn.
It's one of those things where like
Sometimes nothing can really explain.
nothing can explain anything.
Yeah.
And so we assign meaning. And it's like, oh, he was a Capricorn. No, maybe he had generational trauma.
A lot of people don't like Aries people, too.
Really?
There's so much fire.
It's a lot of fire.
Yeah. So, yes, generational trauma and curses. Like, the truth is, it's just trauma and curses.
They're hard to break. No, they're really hard. You have to be conscious, again, that self-awareness in order to break it.
In a sense, self-awareness can be a curse too, because when I choose self-aware, I choose to hate myself.
I do too. I'm like, there's like emotionally, I feel like I'm always like, is there a booger in my nose? But emotionally, you know what I mean?
I know.
Like, am I disgusting to people at all times? And like, has someone paid people to be my friends? Do you ever?
Yeah.
Or like, maybe there's something so wrong with me. I'm gonna start sweating.
I feel like I'm a lot.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
because I am a lot.
You are, but in a really refreshing way.
Okay, good.
And in a way that sets an example for people who've kind of been like stepped on a little bit.
Yeah.
So tell me, when people hear this song, High Horse, like, how do you want them to respond other than a
I
neigh?
want them to respond by throwing their hands up and telling whoever to get off of their high horse. I want them to feel empowered to walk through the thick of whatever they're going through. And I want them to sing it to whoever they gotta sing it to. That's what I...
Because we all have a Pentecostal preacher in our lives.
And we all have the Amish...
We all have the We do.
Amish skirt wearing.
We do.
You know, no makeup, that can get their teeth fixed, but y'all going to hell for, you know, covering up my dark circles after being up all night with my babies. But it makes...
You shouldn't have messed with her.
You shouldn't have. Like,
But you did, and look, there's art to come from it.
yeah.
That's the thing, that world of like contradictions, of like,
Yeah.
I think people feel safe within their limits, and sometimes not to say I'm a Christian, I'm not here saying
I'm not believing Jesus Christ.
yes,
And he is my savior.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not here to say religion is a straitjacket, but I am here to say high control religion
Mm-hmm.
can sometimes be a straitjacket that feels like a warm blanket if you don't know anything else. And like people, I like routines. I like, you know, knowing what's coming next.
Yes.
And I like rules. They make me feel safe, you
Yeah.
know? And so if,
Boundaries are important.
yes. And so if the code is no pants, no makeup,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And the trade-off is ostensibly eternal life, okay.
That's yeah, exactly. And no judgment towards them. That's their personal opinion.
Yeah.
But it ain't mine.
No.
Yep.
No.
I ain't doing it.
So were you wearing a skirt that day?
Absolutely not.
I love that. So you've always been team pants.
No. I'm just peeing whatever the hell I'm in the mood to wear, you know? Like,
Word.
because I love dresses and heels. But I also just sometimes, I think that day I was in yoga pants and a t-shirt. It was a Wednesday night, actually.
How dare you?
Yeah, and I know, I think it had been crazy, and we ended up getting to make it, and...
You know, it's hard to hop off of that high horse when you are in a floor-length denim skirt.
that is
It's hard.
Really,
It's hard to get off.
like, it would rip open.
It would.
Like, me jumping off of my high horse in this tracksuit,
You're nimble.
I'm good.
It's athletic.
Yeah.
Imagine
That's-
tucking and rolling off of a horse. You'd be coming off like a log.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
don't be haters.
Don't be a hater.
Don't be hating.
You should aspire to have haters, but don't be one.
I know. It sucks to know, because nobody really I mean, for the most part, if you're not power hungry, you don't want haters.
No.
But at this point, the hell with it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm like you, though. I just can't take myself too seriously. And I'm glad I let that female rage really come through on this song. So,
I think,
Mr. Preacher Man, you'll hear it soon.
look, I heard it the first time, and it gave me the same excitement that I felt when I heard Not Ready to Make Nice by the Chicks, when I heard My Give a Damn's Busted. Some Brandy Carlisle songs, even like The Joke, which is more of a ballad, but
Yeah, she's
just
amazing.
oh, so good. But like just that I'm gonna sit up a little straighter now, you know. And also it's just like just a very empowering song. It made me want to neigh. It made my 3-year-old neigh.
I've done my job. Like, that makes me so happy. So, yeah, that truly is. That's kind of what the song did for me, too, when I wrote it. And I wrote it, like, after church that night. Probably in 15 minutes, lyrically.
Yeah.
So, ended up coming over here to Nashville and finished it out with some people. And, yeah, it's been great.
And now you're here. So what's next? What's next for you in music? What do you envision your music doing for people?
Well, I've been building a foundation over the past year since we moved here, and honestly, I don't really know. Like, what I envision is selling out stadiums and just writing more and more every day, and hopefully releasing an entire album of 12 songs, before the end of the year.
That's crazy, but if anyone can do it, it's you. Like, I know that for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're an intense person, Star Jackson, but that's what stars are.
I don't really feel intense, though, until I start talking about the preacher.
Yeah, no, but it's good that rage comes out. But I think about like what a star represents and what a star is. And like a star is just a collection of like a million particles colliding. It's nothing but friction and fire. And that's what creates the shine, you know? And I think you're going to impact a lot of people. I really do. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you. And I'm proud of you.
I mean, I'm just mostly talking about farts, you know?
You're not. No, we all need humor for sure, because it keeps, if we're being honest, I feel like everybody in the whole world has, to some level, a slight bit of depression.
Yes.
You know? And so humor really just, we couldn't make it in this world without comedians. I love it. It makes a bad day great for me. So,
well, that's how I feel about music. You know,
perfect.
There's always an interesting relationship between like, you know, I want to be a singer, but like can't do it. So I'm going to talk about farts on stage.
Yeah.
But like, I know there are a lot of singers that also like really enjoy comedy. So I think it's an interesting sort of.
We should just start our own, like make our own movie one day. Like,
we should.
You know, we'll see where this goes.
We should. It could be Mary-Kate and Ashley-esque.
I'm down.
Like a Mary-Kate and Ashley revival.
Yeah.
What was that movie, Billboard Dad?
Or the Real Housewives of Hattiesburg.
The Real Housewives of Hattiesburg.
The Hattiesburg Housewivers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about travel ball and going to JA and going to Zeus, and I love all that stuff, but I could riff for a minute about that subdivision life. That redneck subdivision life.
Ain't nothing like it.
That's right. Well, Star, thank you so much for having me in your home and being on my podcast.
Thank you so much for being here.
And, you know, you're not just a woman scorned. You've been reborn. And
That's right. That's so true.
Amen. So
Amen.
I'm very excited to see your journey. And thank you. As always, Superfreak with Mary Ryan Brown is brought to you by Simply Chic by Fatish. This is the boutique where I get all of my clothes. The owner, Angie, she is the light of my life. I adore her. Go to simplychic.boutique. That's simplychic.boutique for 15% off of all new arrivals. 15% off all new arrivals. And then this podcast is also sponsored by Energy Bits. Energy Bits, that's the algae supplement I take every day. Use code MaryRyan, all caps, for 20% off your purchase at energybits.com. All right, y'all, without further ado, Star Jackson's new debut single, High Horse.